What do you think, as someone who knows China well, about the level of danger around Huawei? Is it really a tool of the Chinese government, as Americans in Washington would all say?
I certainly believe that the data that Huawei has access to will be made available to the Chinese government as they find that useful. So the strategic alignment, the idea that Huawei is a national champion in the way that Lockheed Martin has been a national champion of the U.S. government historically, at the very least, yes, I do believe that. But more importantly, I think when we talk about 5G, we're not just talking about smartphones. We're talking, as you know, about the Internet of Things. It's the entire data infrastructure around smart cities, anything with a chip in it. And the idea that that would be aligned to a Chinese set of standards as opposed to an American set of standards with our allies, even though it's cheaper, even though it's rolling out more quickly, does strike me as something the Americans need to take very seriously.
Ian, this is what I don't get. Thus far, I've only heard stick. If you don't play our game the way we want, then we're going to cut you off, right? Where's the carrot? I mean, part of the problem is, as you said, there's not alternatives in the United States for 5G. Why doesn't the United States invest in Nokia? Why doesn't it invest in Ericsson and things like that, where we could together develop 5G and not need Huawei?
Well, of course, this was the speech that was given by Attorney General Bill Barr, who has a telecom background, among other things, just 2 weeks ago. And he suggested, in addition to some urgent FCC decisions that would need to be made in terms of bandwidth made available to make 5G work, but also the idea that the Americans, a public sector supported consortium, industrial policy, dirty word for most Republicans.
Coming from a Republican government, let us say.
Quite
free markets, hello.
Yeah, except Republican governments during the Cold War were very supportive of the military-industrial complex. So what you have Barr saying is we need a military-industrial technological complex because the Chinese are fighting the Cold War very differently. And I understand that, but his one speech is not a policy. And you're absolutely right that the Europeans see a lot of money coming from Belt and Road, particularly in the 17+1, the East and Southern Europeans with the Chinese. Even the Italians, right, joined Belt and Road for a reason. The Brits are saying it's a cheaper system. Why are we going to come to the U.S. unless it's something for us? They don't have the companies. So unless we're finding a way to help build up the Europeans as well, it's hard to imagine that they're going to simply say, yeah, we're going to go with you, America First, Trump.